It sort of scrambled the map. Flake is a conservative. He does have the support of the establishment as well. And Kelly Ward is more of a Trumpian, sort of populist figure. Just today, a super PAC aligned with Mitch McConnell went out and attacked her for sort of indulging these crazy conspiracy theories about chemtrails.
We want to give you every opportunity to express your First Amendment rights, no matter what your opinion happens to be. However, as mayor of the city of Phoenix, I am expecting you to be civil, respectful, and peaceful.
Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton speaking out about President Trump's planned campaign-style rally in Phoenix tonight, fearing it could inflame tensions in the wake of Charlottesville. There's also speculation the president might pardon former Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio, who awaits sentencing for ignoring a judge's order to stop anti-immigration patrols. Mayor Stanton saying, quote, "Let's be clear, a pardon of Arpaio can only be seen as a presidential endorsement of the lawlessness and discrimination that terrorized Phoenix's Latino community." He goes on to say the white nationalists, neo-Nazis, and other racists who shamed our country this month in Charlottesville would surely cheer a presidential pardon. Let's bring in our panel. Marguerite Clifton, a former consultant to the Obama campaign and principal of Clifton Consulting. John McCormick is a senior writer for the Weekly Standard. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
All right, John, the sheriff says he didn't ask for it. He did not seek this. The mayor has talked about the kind of fire it could start if the president decides to go there and pardon the sheriff. Should he skip it?
Well, I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about the legal merits of this case, but certainly in terms of how it looks, this is the sort of thing that's a very combustible situation. You want to look at this carefully and deliberately. You want this to go through formal vetting at the Department of Justice if the president is going to consider a pardon. According to news reports, that has not happened. And so to announce that pardon of a deeply controversial person who has been sentenced for, discrimination, that is a very, aggressive thing to do. It could really spark things. And I think that the president would want to think about this carefully and calmly and not announce that at a campaign-style event.
I mean, Marjorie, it may be about none of that, because what we're hearing from the vice president this morning, kind of laying out the plan for the speech tonight, he says he's going to go after Congress. He needs them to get things done. He's going to call on them to step up and start working on his agenda. You know he enjoys these campaign-style rallies. They seem to give him a shot in the arm. He loves being out there with the people who supported him, elected him, and still believe and support him.
Yes, and I mean, look, nobody argues, or a lot of people agree that Trump's got somewhat of a sensitive ego, and right now it's been a hard season for him. And so we see him using these rallies to sort of showcase that, look, I still have supporters, I still have people who are strongly with me, and I think it both bolsters his own engine, but also I think the optics of it help him in whatever way they do. I mean, definitely the politics and just the climate right now is a sensitive one. So I do agree that Arpaio would be a very questionable choice. But then again, Trump has defied all rules when it comes to politics. And, he does what he feels is the right thing to do in the moment. So we'll see. Well,
and there's also a question about whether if he goes after Congress more broadly about getting with the program, getting things done. I mean, he is talking about specific lawmakers, too. Just days ago, they're tweeting about Senator Jeff Flake, who is a conservative Republican, but has very much stood up and spoken out against the president in a number of ways, basically tweeting that he is supporting a primary candidate against Senator Flake. I think we have the tweet here. It says, great to see that Dr. Kelly Ward is running against Flake. Jeff Flake, who is weak, all caps, on borders, crime, and a non-factor in the Senate. He's toxic. Well, here's what former House Speaker Newt Gingrich has to say about those personal jabs.
My hope would be that he will sidestep Senators McCain and Flake. He's going to need both of them this fall in terms of the agenda. This is not a place to pick a fight, and I hope that he will be more presidential and less confrontational.
A lot of folks, John, don't think it's a coincidence that he's there in Arizona on their home territory. Do you think he gets personal tonight?
Well, that'll be something we really want to see, whether he escalates this fight against Jeff Flake or sort of just stays mute on it. For the president, it's really not about ideology or any issue in particular. It's all about him. It's about the fact that Jeff Flake has slighted him and has criticized him. But the Arizona Senate race, the primary between Kelly Ward and Jeff Flake, it really is sort of ground zero in this Republican civil war. It sort of scrambled the map. Flake is a conservative. He does have the support of the establishment as well. And Kelly Ward is more of a Trumpian, sort of populist figure. Just today, a super PAC PAC aligned with Mitch McConnell went out and attacked her for sort of indulging these crazy conspiracy theories about chemtrails, saying John McCain should immediately step down after being diagnosed with brain cancer so she could become the senator. So really, this is going to be a race to watch over the next year to see whether the party is sort of overtaken by more Trumpian figures in Congress.
Something else to watch tonight, Marjorie, the mayor talked there about respecting the First Amendment. People have a right to say what they want to say, do it in a civil and respectful way. This could be a test tonight with both supporters, and we expect protesters showing up. What will you watch for tonight as that takes center stage again, those freedoms butting up against each other?
Well, as we saw this weekend in Boston, similarly, the leadership there stood up, made it very vocal. We want to, honor that First Amendment right, but we ask for respectful and peaceful. It's going to be a different climate, though, in Arizona. Again, the tensions around immigration have been there for now almost a decade, and Arpaio, again, for that same time period, has been a very controversial figure. He may not come up, but regardless, I think, given the diversity of that population, it's going to be a test of the police force. It's going to be a test of the leadership. It's going to be a test of the tone the president can set on the ground. It's going to be really important because he's there. He hasn't been at the other rallies. So his presence should be an interesting one.
Yeah, it'll be a very closely watched incident tonight to see whether he shows. All right, Marjorie and John, thank you both for your time.
Thank you. Near indulging these crazy conspiracy theories about chemtrails,